So I wanted to share a really simple tarot spread that I use for myself quite a lot. I also use it with clients, and it's simple. But has a lot of potential to really help you define where you are in your life and take practical steps forward. Now, this spread, I use two decks for this spread. If you've got two tarot decks, if you've got an oracle deck and a tarot deck, you could play around. If you've only got one deck, you could simply use that deck and do the two readings that way. I like to use two decks because it allows the same card to be repeated, and that will add real weight to any repeated cards. So I'm using my two favorite decks, the Druidcraft deck and the Rider-Waite deck. And for me, I am doing a very general reading, just looking at life path, life. Where am I now? Where am I going next? You could, if you prefer, set a focus. You could look at romance, work, family, spiritual practices, even a relationship, whatever you like. So if there's a particular area of your life you'd like to look at, then you can specify that. But I'm just looking at my life right now. So I have already shuffled. I did that before recording, so I wanted to really sort of like in a very focused way. To me, the shuffling is a really important part of the tarot reading. Just make sure that you're very focused, focus on your breath for a few moments, shuffle however best suits you. What matters is your intention on your question or the area of your life. So it's a really simple spread. I like simple spreads because it allows you to really focus on the cards instead of constantly cross-referencing, oh God, what did that bit mean? What did that bit mean? A simple spread allows the tarot cards to do the real work. So the first part of the spread is simply that classic old chestnut of present, near future, further future, a timeline, if you like. If you want to add a specific time reference to this month, this year, then do that while you're shuffling. I haven't. I've just done a very general one. So where am I right now? So the Ace of Cups in the Druidcraft deck for where I am right now, that feels really spot on. I always start with either past or present card, because in a tarot reading you need something to reference your accuracy. I think that is a real game changer for me, to be able to pinpoint an accuracy in my reading so that I can trust any advice or future references the cards may give me. Ace of Cups, unconditional love. I've just spent a weekend of deep healing and very much focusing on my Nordic path of side and staff. And for the first time in 14 months, I do actually feel happy. It's been a difficult year. If you've been following me on social media or YouTube, yeah, I do feel Ace of Cups. I feel that I have, that my heart's been healed. So that would really resonate for me right now. What's coming next? What's in the near future? The Six of Swords. To me, the Six of Swords is a card of ease. It's a card of taking the middle row. It's a card of being very much guided by spirits. I always think this guy here in the back looks like a spirit. The swords represent our mind, our anxieties, our overthinking. The swords are in the boat. But I always think with the Six of Swords, it's a card of looking for the easy path. And I would be very grateful for that for the future, for the near future. And the next card is simply the longer future. For me, I'm looking at about a year. A year suits me good. And we have the major arcana, the Four. Now, the Druidcraft calls this the Lord. In the Rider-Waite deck, if you're more familiar with that, that would be the Emperor. It is a card of stability. It's a card of structure. It's a card of new plans moving forward. To me, the Emperor is the builder, the pioneer. It's firm foundations. So to me, it suggests that the healing that feels as if it's happened is being reflected by the cards, that I've got a time of ease and peace coming up. Hallelujah. I would really go with that, followed by a time of structured growth and building plans for the future. That's rather nice to see. Always good to look at the card at the bottom of the pack. To me, it is I call it the doorstep card. Kind of adds the key thing with the card at the bottom of the pack is to try and reference each of the other cards with that card. Now, to me, the Queen of Swords can very often refer to a divorced or separate single woman. Obviously, it has a million other meanings than that, including clear boundaries, speaking your truth, being very honest. But yeah, I do feel that the grieving period following my separation is over, and I am finally emotionally a single woman. So that really resonates. So that's the first part of the reading. Very, very simple. Present, near future, future. And the key thing is you need, before you read these cards, I read super fast because I do a lot of readings. You need to be, if you're not coherent with the cards, if you're not doing a lot of readings, take your time on this, and the best way, taking it right back to basics, the way to read a card is you look at the card. Before you pick up a book, before you go to a list or a crib sheet or you Google, look at the card first. See what you see. In this card, I see the water flowing. I see the water moving. I see the energy. My eye is drawn to the salmon. In a lot of myths, the salmon is to do with returning home, coming home. What happened in my healing weekend was, on a spiritual level, I returned home. It felt good. So that's the first thing to do. Then, when you've looked at the pictures, lots of people like to make notes. It's a really good thing to do. And then look the card up. Then look for advice to see what other authors or readers have said. But always look first. So either leaving those 3 cards, if you're doing it with the same deck, I would leave those 3 cards out and shuffle the rest of the deck. If you're doing it with the second deck, you look at the cards and you shuffle the second deck, because acknowledging this has slightly changed my future. I feel a little calmer, a bit more optimistic, a bit more centered, having seen the cards reflect what I hoped to be true. So always do this reading separately and then follow on with the next reading. So I've shuffled my deck, I've reflected on this, and it's very simple. Set your time frame. Okay, I do this every day. I don't do this one every day, but every day I do a 3-card reading. How should I best use this day? You may prefer to work with a week or a month or a year. This is completely flexible. But the next reading is the one I do not every day. Some days I don't, but most days. And it's how should I best use this day? And so the first card is strength. To me, this is very, very often self-nurture. And despite making this video today, I only have 2 clients today. I'm taking it very easy. I've had a slow morning. I'm watching a movie with my kids this evening. I am self-nurturing. I am looking after myself. I am taking it easy. How should I best use today? The next card is the 9 of Cups. By, remembering what my dreams are. To me, the 9 of Cups is a wish card. I've definitely spent some time looking at my business, looking at how to focus more on the things that I love within my business. I guess it's like if you use vision boards or goal setting or anything like that, it's about going back to the vision board, going back to the goal setting, maybe actually spending some time defining what is it I want in life? What is it you want in life? To me, that's very much the 9 of Cups. So yes, I have been doing that. And the 2 of Wands is a card of new beginnings. There's some anxiety there, but it's about looking to the future, preparing for the future. And that's definitely what today is about for me. Quite a lot of self-care and self-nurturing. These 2 cards go very well together about I'm looking at my business to refocus it slightly so that I'm doing more of what I love. And that's that. And I would do these 3 cards, I would do that on a daily basis, but like I say, if you prefer, you could do it on a weekly basis. You could even do bullet points. You could say, this week, do 3 bullet points, 3 actions for strength. If I was doing this for the week for strength, I might say, I'm gonna go out for, a walk every day. Self-care, I'm gonna drink, water every day. Do drink a lot of coffee. And self care, I'm going to spend 2 afternoons relaxing with my children. So you could even do that, do a bullet point. For the Nine of Cups, it might be I'm going to create a wish list of 5 things I want to achieve this year with my family, a wish list of 5 things I want to achieve um, with my business. And I might then actually think of one thing I really want to do each day that's just a little bit flippant. And actually, today I am doing it. Today I am watching a movie with my kids. It seems small, but sometimes the smallest wishes are the best. So, you can be really practical with cards. That's what I love about tarot is the practical application. I know sometimes it's really important to talk about the occult and the archetypes and karmic debt and the bigger picture, but actually bringing it right down to everyday life is really practical. And the card at the bottom of the pack, and here we come, 6 of Swords. So, in a 8-card reading, because I've done 2 cards at the bottom of the pack, one of the cards is a double. It's been repeated. So that really then, highlights the importance of that. I love the 6 of Swords in the Rider-Waite deck. I love how the far distance is in soft blue. There's a sense there of these people don't know where they're going, but they know it's going to be better than where they are now. There's a sense of the choppier water to one side and the clearer water, the calmer water is what they're heading to. And still this concept of a figure or someone else guiding them. So the overall message for me is to take it a little bit more easy, go for the easier route. So just to recap, it's super easy and it's such a deep, and I would say I've definitely used this reading to navigate my life. With your first deck, if you're reading with tarot and oracle, I think you're going to have to decide for yourself, to be honest. The oracle decks are so different and so varied that you'd have to really decide before you did it which works best. I love to use the Druidcraft deck first, mostly because it's so big, because you can then overlay the other cards. But it's very simple. Set your time frame. For me, this was just about a year. Set your focus. For me, it was life. Present, make sure you can validate that. Near future, future. And then with your second deck, how do I best use and decide for yourself beforehand this day, this week, this month, this year. It's that simple. I hope you found it helpful. I've now got on my website a compendium, a list of all the cards, all 78 cards. Actually, that's not true. It's 77. I haven't added the full yet. With very practical references for what they can mean when you're reading for yourself. So if you want any help with your reading, do follow the link in the comments and go and have a look at my website.